In today's step-by-step tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to draw this cute winter scenery using Procreate.
Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful.
Before we begin, you can download all tutorial files free of charge via the link in the video description. I already can't wait to see what amazing drawings you will create. So let's grab our pencils and get started. For this drawing we will need a square canvas. So let's go ahead and create one. There is a plus sign here in the corner. I'm going to tap on it, then new canvas, and enter the dimensions. It'll be 2K by 2K pixels. DPI is 300 and color profile is sRGB. We are all set up now. Let's click Create. We'll get this blank white square. This color is a little too bright for the eyes, so we can change the background right away. To do that, let's go to the background color and then select color that comes first in our palette. This is one of my favorite Festive color palettes. It's included in the tutorial bundle together with the brushes that are absolutely free to download. If you like using my free brushes and watching free YouTube tutorials, but still want to get even more, please consider joining me on Patreon, where I've already shared hundreds of premium quality brushes and advanced drawing tutorials in many different styles. You will find the link to it in the video description. Let's now go back to the color palette and pick color number 2, that we will use to paint snow. In the brush set we need to select Soft Wool brush and set the size to around 43%. We just need to start making horizontal strokes at the lower side of the canvas, like this. Go to the right side and then to the left. I'm not pressing too much on the pencil this time. We just need to get this soft edge. It will look like fluffy snow. Now let's paint it here, applying a little bit more pressure on the pencil. This way. We just need to get opaque color here at the lower side. Let's paint a little more. And that's it. Now we can paint the house. To do that, let's create a new layer by clicking here and then drag it underneath. Let's use color number 3 as the base color for the house. And to draw it, we need to go to Inking and select a brush called Dry Ink. The size can be set around 18%. Let's first draw a vertical line here on the left, and then the other one on the opposite side. I'll make it a little bit thicker, and then we need to connect them in this point for the triangular roof. Let's match it with this side first, and then on the right. We need to connect them all, and then continue this line going up for the chimney. Let's draw this short line on top, and then also connect it at the lower side under the snow, so we can try to drag the color. We can adjust color drop threshold and then fill the chimney too. Here I will slide to the left and then remove these imperfections manually. We don't need these gaps. Okay, the base shape is ready. We can now paint the roof covered by the snow. For that, let's create a new layer above this one and pick the color right from here. Let's increase the brush size to around 45% to keep the brush textured, especially on the edge. And we can start from top. Go a little down and make it rounded here. Then go to the opposite side with this curve. Let's make some interesting shape and just go to the side like this with the corner. Then it'll go more down with the curve. Then it'll go up here and to the right. Just like this. Let's try to make a similar shape here. So I'm just drawing another curve. And instead of filling, let's paint this one manually to keep the texture. I will adjust it a little bit and finish painting. And after we did this, we can add a little bit of snow on the chimney with a simple shape like this. Also painted by hand. And now this is ready. I like how this part of the snow looks, but I'd like to fix it a little bit and remove this transparency. We can do it easily if we just duplicate the layer. It is still fluffy and soft on the edge, but not that transparent. Let's merge these two layers. And then we need to create another one on top of all layers to paint two big trees on the foreground. For the first one, I will pick color number 8, and we can keep using dry ink. Let me adjust the brush size a little bit. I think we can set it around 25%. Let's start from here and just draw a simple tree that will consist of these lines. Short one, then another one, and here we can just draw individual branch like this. Then connect it to the side of the canvas. And now instead of filling it, let's go to selection, switch to freehand. First I will remove color fill. And now we need to create the selection within these lines, just by tapping. Let's now go around the canvas and tap to connect. Then go to brush, set it to maximum size and paint it quickly like this. This way we will keep the texture and also don't have to be careful while working close to the sides, because this brush is pressure sensitive. Let's just remove a little bit texture and deselect. Okay, now this tree is ready. Let's go to change the color into number 7, so we can draw on the left. Now we need to lower the size back to around 44 or 45%. And also draw these lines. It's too long. I'll make it shorter like this. And then also go down. It can cover the house just a little bit. Let's also add some curves here. And then match it with the edge of the canvas. Like this. After that we can do the same. So I went to selection area and tapping inside the line. We can also draw like this. Then connect it outside and use the brush at maximum size to paint it all like this. Due to this selection, we can paint it quickly just by making many strokes inside it, this way. I will work a little bit here at the bottom and then deselect. It may need a few adjustments, so I will fix this line here. Now the trees are ready. Let's now create another layer under the house. I will drag it down like this, so we can paint some more snow behind it. It will look a little bit darker, so let's use color 16 to draw it. The brush size can be set to around 40%. And I'm gonna paint a small triangle here, between the tree and the house. We can add another one here for the symmetry, but it won't be seen, because this tree is a little bit bigger. Alright, now let's add another layer. Also place it underneath, so we can paint one more fir tree, behind the house. It will be also dark, but since the background is dark already, for now we can select some light color and then recolor it. I will start with color number 5. The brush is selected. I think I will just increase the size to around 60% and draw a simple shape. Let it look like a triangle. Let it go down this way. We can also paint it, maybe make it a little bit pointy. And then just go more down. Let's paint it like this. All of it. Okay. Now to recolor it, we need to alpha lock the layer. Grab color number 13. After that we can just go back, tap on the layer again and click fill layer. We will get this. And then we can draw even more trees on the background. They will be located behind this tree. So we need to add one more layer and also drag it down. These trees will be also dark. Let me try to use color 12 and see if it will work. Okay, I think it is quite thin. So let's use it, but change the brush. This time it will be textured shader. It's the one from my free textures and patterns set. Let's keep it at around 20% for now and draw a big curvy tree trunk. Somewhere here. It will start behind the roof, then move to the side and up. As you see, it looks very textured. And I like this. Let's just continue going up like this. Maybe make a curve. Then we can lower the size a little bit to add smaller branches. First I will adjust the tree trunk. Okay. Now let's add a tree branch. It will go to the right. Just like this. Now let's add a few more. Make them curvy. This way. And maybe one more between these two. Let's make it more rounded. Okay. Maybe just one here on top. Okay, the first tree is ready. Let's add one more somewhere here. This way we will fill the entire background with the trees. It can have the branches like this. It will go up to the side of the canvas. And I will add one more. Here we are. I think I will change this one a little bit. Don't want it to be too wide. Okay, let's now continue and paint one more. I'll increase the brush size just a little bit and paint behind this fir tree. Let's first make a trunk. It'll go down, and then with the smaller size we can add some more branches to it. I will draw one more. Can change the angle maybe. I don't like this one. Now that's better. Let's add a few more. That'll go to the opposite side, so it is sort of symmetrical. Maybe one more small branch, and that's it. We can draw the last tree here. Let me make the size bigger again. I will start from the upper side and fill this triangle, so it doesn't look empty. Let's paint this area into dark. Then lower the size and add a thinner branch. It can go this way. Okay, I think I need some space. So to move this one, we first need to outline it. Then I will use Warp tool from transformation menu. Okay, now it is better. I will draw like this. So it's always nice to use selection when you have many objects on your canvas, but you need to adjust only one of them. Let me add the last tree branch in this empty space. And now we are done with the trees. We will shade them a little bit later. I think now we can start working on the house. Let's go to layer number 2 and create one more above it, so we can add windows and a door. Let's start with the door. It will have this green color number 4, and we can paint it using dry ink. Let's just make the size a little bit smaller, like 24%. And first draw 2 vertical lines, somewhere in the middle of the house. Okay. Now we need to connect it on top and at the bottom. I think I'll make the size even smaller. Then draw a line here to connect this, and on top it can go as an arc. Just like this. We can try to fill it. I will adjust color draw threshold and also remove the gaps around the lines, like this. Now let's paint the windows. There will be light inside the windows, so we can use this light yellow color number 5. First we can draw one on top, above the door. It can go as a straight line here at the bottom. Then it'll have 2 more lines on the sides, like this. And go as an arc on top. Alright. It doesn't have to be perfect. We can just try to fill it too by dragging the color and then make a few adjustments. Let me grab a eraser. Then I will set it to the same brush and adjust the shape a little more. I think it can be a little bit pointy. Just like this. Okay. Now this window is ready. Let's draw a couple more on the sides from the door. So let's first make horizontal lines on the right side and on the left. Then we can also draw some shapes. They will be rounded here on top, like this. We need to connect it if we want to use color fill. Let's actually try to drag the color right here. Then also paint on the gaps. And then draw the other one here. They can look a little bit different, it's totally fine. So we don't copy them. Instead we are drawing them one by one. Okay. Let's also drag the color here. Make a few adjustments, like this. And after that, we can add window frames. Let's add one more layer on top of this one and select color number 6. Let's keep using the same brush and first draw a frame here. It'll be like a line. I won't press too much on it, so it's not getting too thick. Or we can try to lower the size even more. I've set it to 13%. This way we will have more control on the thickness. Okay, let's also draw a horizontal one, a little higher than the middle. This way. Now let's draw on this one. So first we can draw a line in the center, like this, and then a couple more on the left and on the right from this one. Let's keep them a little bit textured and then draw in the center a line that will go horizontally, somewhere here. Let me make one more stroke And then we can switch to this one on the left. It can also look a little bit different. So here I will draw two lines. Just like this. Okay. Now we just need to draw horizontally. Like this. And right after that, we can add some fence. Let's stay on the same layer. And first select some dark color. For example, number 14. We need to draw vertical lines. So let's start somewhere here. And then draw on the right. Make it go not too high. Now we can add a few more lines between these. Somewhere here. Then one more. And maybe another one. Let's do the same on this side. I'll start a little bit close to the door. And continue going to the left. All the way down. Like this. Now that we have these vertical lines, we can add horizontal ones. Let's make them a little bit lighter, using color 15. I just want to add a layer underneath. And draw this way. One line. And then one more. Let's also do it here. One line. And the second one. Alright. Now we can definitely merge these two layers, number 10 and number 9. So we can continue adding more details. Under this window, I'd like to add some Christmas decoration. It'll have some fir tree branches. So let's add a layer above this one. And select color number 8. First, using dry ink, with the size set to around 16%, we can draw a shape like this. It'll cover the lower side of the window and go up here on the side. Now let's go to the opposite one and also go up with a few curves. Now we also need to finish it at the bottom. The strokes can go in different directions and generally down. So let's paint a few more curves. Some of them can be bigger. Also here in the middle. This way. I think I'd like to start from here now. And also go down like this. Drawing these short triangles. Changing the direction from time to time. Going down and to the side. So in the end we'll get something like this. I think I will make a bigger one here in the middle. Let's make it a little bit more opaque. So we can add some more strokes for the shading. Okay. I think now I'm quite satisfied with the shape. Let's do this. First add a layer on top of this one. And then clip it. We can use the same color, but set the layers mode to multiply. In order to make it not too dark, let's lower the opacity to 40%. Also, we can change the brush to another one. Let's use dry brush from the tutorial set. The size is at around 19%, and I will be making random strokes on top of this one. Let's make a few more. It'll get textured and also darker. Now for the highlight, we can add one more layer right above this one. We also need to clip it to keep the color inside. And this time set it to screen to get a lighter color. Let's make a few more random strokes right on top of this. I I'm not pressing too much on the pencil. Just trying to follow the direction of these branches. Maybe this is too much, a little too highlighted. And now it is much better. Let's go ahead and merge these three layers. So we can add some Christmas balls. I'd like to add one more layer on top of this one and switch to color number 9. Let's also go to Recent and grab dry ink. So we can draw 3 circles. First one, and then 2 more, approximately same size. Let me move it a little bit to the center and rotate. Alright. Now it is done. Let's start adding some snow under the windows, on these 3 branches and on the door. I'd like to start with the door. So let's go back to this layer. Or maybe even to this one where we have the frames and the fences. And then we can add one more. For the snow above the door, let's select color number 10. And to make it a little bit fluffy, let's switch to textured shader. Now it is also here in Recent. The size is at around 9%. And we can paint on top of it. Make strokes horizontal. Go down. Let's paint a little more to this side. Let's try to make the size just a little bit smaller to remove this transparency. Okay, I think enough here. Let's add some snow under the windows. Since here it will be exposed to the light that comes from the windows, it can have slightly yellowish tone. So here we better use color number 11. With the same brush and approximately same size, let's start painting here. We need to cover the lower sides of the windows. Also go to the right like this, and then down. I think here I will make the size slightly bigger to add fluffiness, and continue making strokes going to the right. Just like this. Now this first shape is ready. Let's also do it here. We need to cover the lower edge of the window again. And just paint it like this. If you feel the size is too big, just go ahead and lower it. So you have even more control over your brush. We need to cover the tips of the fence. So I will just add a few more brush strokes, like this. And it will be enough. Let's now apply alpha lock on this layer. And using pure white color, add highlights. We just need to go to the color disk and double tap here on the light area. Now that we have white color selected, we can make the size bigger and paint on top of the shapes. The strokes can go in different directions. Okay, it looks highlighted. Now we can do it on this one. Let's also do it above the door, like this. Maybe one more stroke. I'll make the size a little smaller to be more precise. Okay, now we can add a subtle shadow on this one. So let's try to select color 16 and paint just a little bit. This time at the lower side. It'll get this nice violet tone. And that's it. Okay, we got these snowy shapes. Let's add another decoration on the door. Here we can also use color number 9 and dry ink brush. We just need to add a layer between these two and draw similar circles again. It'll go like this. They will be connected to each other and create a wreath for Christmas. Okay, we can try to rotate it to find the best position, or maybe I will just keep it this way. Adjust some of these circles so they're all connected to each other. Okay, now it looks fine. I think in the next step we can shade the door and add details to it. Let's go to layer number 8, where we have the base color for the door, and then create another one on top of it. We need to clip it to keep the color inside. And since we have all these objects on one layer, we can use selection to isolate it from the windows. It is set to freehand, so we just need to outline the door like this. And tap here. Just make sure there is no color fill, otherwise the door will be filled with the selected color. We don't want this. Let's now select color number 7. And the noise brush. Set the size to around 58% and first darken the door from the bottom. Make the strokes that'll go up. We can try to lower the brush size to around 27% to get smaller particles and also make strokes on top of it. Let's now go darker with color number 8. Apply it this way, both on top and at the bottom, maybe a little bit on the sides. And in the middle we need to apply some lighter color. So we can do this. We can go back to color number 4, then add a new layer, also clip it, and just set it to screen, so we will get a lighter tone. Now let's paint here slightly in the middle, like this. And to make the color even darker on top, we can add one more layer. Also clip this one and select color 13. Let's just add this shadow under the wreath, like this. We can press more to make it more opaque. Maybe another subtle stroke, like this. And to add the details, like wood, we can go to Sketching and select 6B pencil. Then set the size to 12% and just draw vertical lines. That'll go down, like this. Let's draw a few more. Maybe we can draw just one here, and at the end add a handle. I will draw it on the right side, but of course you can put it on the left. It doesn't matter. Okay, now the door is ready. We can deselect it and merge these layers. Next we can work on the windows. We can actually try to alpha lock the layer, so we don't have to create another one. Then select color number 6. Switch back to noise brush and apply it at the bottom of the windows. Just like this. Here we can increase the size to around 36%. So let's darken it here, then this one. Don't forget that we have the door on the same layer, so we need to be careful with it. And if you have your windows located very close, just go ahead and use selection to outline them. Okay, I think these are done too. Let's now finish this wreath for decoration. We have it here on layer 13, so we can create one more layer above it, then clip and set it to soft light. First, using white color that we can pick from the color disc, let's apply our noise brush on the entire shape, so it'll also get this texture. Now we can select pure black color, lower the size, and shade each circle separately. Just add shadows on them like this. Let's go around it. Okay. Now we can merge these two layers, alpha lock it, and add some other color here. For the ribbon, it can be this light yellow number 10. And to apply it, let's select dry brush. Set the size to around 5 or 6%, maybe also lower the opacity so it is not so light. I've set it to 78%, and we can just make strokes between the circles. This way. Now it is ready. Very fast. Let's finish these balls here and also add the highlight on the branches. So first we need to go to layer 11, where we have these decorations. And I will also create another one on top of it. Flip, set to soft light. Maybe we don't even have to add texture. We can just add a shadow. So I will go with black color and apply to textured shader, so they will look different. Let's just lower the brush size to around 8%, maybe even less, because they are small, and we can make strokes on the side and at the bottom between these two. And it is done as well. Let's merge these two layers, and after that we need to create a layer between these two. Let's start with color number 5. And using the same brush, just paint on top of the branches. Let's try the size at around 7% and just make strokes that will go up on the branches like this. Let me lower even more so we can adjust the pressure. Also, I will make strokes that will go down for the fluffiness, and then go to the left, just like this. Let's also make a few strokes like circles. Here under the balls it will be with the shadow, so we don't have to highlight it. All we need to do is add another lighter color. So maybe let's grab it somewhere here. That can be very light yellow. I like this one. And now we can also add it on top. Just like this. A little. And also on this side. So it'll be highlighted too. Okay, I think it is also enough here. All these layers can be merged. And in the next step, I'd like to work on the snowy part on the roof. We have it on layer 3. So let's create another one on top of it and apply clipping mask. We can start with a small part here. Select color 16 for the shadow. I just want to make sure that textured shader is selected, so we can make the size bigger. And if you don't want to be very careful, you can just outline it like this. Then tap on the brush and add the shadow here at the bottom and also on the left side. Let's make a few more. Then we can select this color from the roof, or maybe even go with pure white, so it'll pop up more. And then I will make strokes on top like this. They will go down, So I'm holding the pencil like this. Then with a smaller size, we can add reflected light here at the bottom. Just a little. I think it looks nice. I will just highlight a bit more this way, and then I will deselect. Now let's finish the large part. Maybe we can also try to outline it with the selection. Then I will tap on the brush to activate it and select color 16 again. So we will start with the shadow here too. Here we need to make the size bigger and start making strokes like this. Then I will make it smaller and put a shadow right here on the side. Let's paint it all like this. Okay, now let's do it on the opposite side, but here we paint it on the upper side, so here it needs to be at the bottom. I'll make it smaller and draw a little more to make it darker. Let's also paint on this one. So we are separating these two parts from each other. Like this. Okay. We can even go a little bit to this side. And after that, we need to select white from the disk. Let's cover this edge with the highlight. Go a little bit down. So I'm rotating the pencil when applying it. Then also do it here. Just working on the edge. We can make another stroke somewhere in the middle with the size set around 9%. Like this. So it'll determine the edge. Okay, let's add reflected light at the lower part of this shape. And then on this one. Right on top. We can also highlight this edge. Like this. And then with the smaller size, I will draw it all the way down, like this. So it will be more defined. Just a few more smaller strokes. Let's highlight it this way for the volume. And another small one on the tip. Okay, I think it looks very nice. I'm going to deselect it. So we can now work on the walls. We can definitely merge these two layers and go to layer number 2. Let's create another one above it and then clip. Here we will be using noise brush. Let's go to our color palette and select color 22. Make the size bigger at around 37% and apply it with very low pressure, just to add the texture everywhere on this part. Okay, now we can start adding more colors here. For example, this orange number 6. Let's draw mostly around the windows and try to keep these particles blended. Also around this window. We can make a few more at the bottom of the chimney and a little bit on the right side. Now let's go lighter with color 5. Also paint more around the windows to show this lightened area. then around this one. Just don't press on the pencil, so it won't look unnatural. Let's highlight around this one and also on this side, just a little. Okay, now let's go back to color 22 and start adding shadows. For example, here and under the wreath. Go to this side, maybe a little bit around the door. Let's also draw a little bit on the chimney, like this. Now to add harder shadows, we can use the same color, but switch to texture shader. Here the size can be set around 16%, and we need to make strokes under this snow, right on the wall. Let's go down, make it a little bit wider here, and then also draw like this. Now we need to go to the opposite side. If you like, you can try a bigger size to make it more textured. And just continue doing it like this. Go to the side. Okay, we can make a few strokes that will go down like this for more shadow. Even make some circles. And press more here in the corner. Now we need to add the shadow under this part of snow. Okay. I think it looks quite cool. And then with the smaller size, we need to shade these flower beds. Just add the shadow under the windows. Painting horizontally. Let's do it on this one. Okay, it looks already shaded. And next we can add some details. Let's stay on the same layer and pick color number 10. To add bricks texture, we can use our 6B pencil from sketching. Here it is. Let's make the size slightly bigger, like 19 or 20%, and first make a horizontal stroke like this, very carefully. Then we need to draw a vertical line, also without applying too much pressure. Another one that will go horizontally. Here we need to draw two more. That will also go down. We are just giving a hint on the bricks, so we don't have to paint the entire texture. Now let's add two more shorter lines on the sides of the window, and the last two that will go down. We will get something like this. Okay, now let's also draw on the chimney. Just a couple horizontal lines, then another one that will go down, one more. Let's add a few more horizontal ones and just draw vertically. Okay, I think it will be enough. Now let's go back to dark color, that is 22, and add some more very small rectangles here and there, maybe around this part, and just like this. Also here, another one close to this window, and a few more on the sides, this way. Maybe some of them can be very small, on this side from the door, and also on the left from the window. Okay, I think we are done here. Let's decorate the house to add even more festive mood. So I'm going to merge these two layers, and after that add a layer above layer number 3, like this. We can set it to add mode right away for the shine. And from our brush set, we need to select hard lights. It is from the Christmas set. Now using color number 5, we need to start making strokes the following way. First we can set it to around 3%, and starting from these balls, just draw going to the side. We can make it slightly curvy, like this, then make the size very small, like 2%, and add a few more. Some of them can go a little down if you like. So we will add this nice decoration. It will also go a little bit on the snow. If you'd like to adjust the shape, you can use push from Liquify. I think I will keep it like this. And in the next step, since the house is decorated and ready, we can add smoke that comes from the chimney. And to do that, we need to create a layer under the house, right here, under layer 2. For the base color, let's select color 16 and use textured shader to draw it. So I'm increasing the size. Let's try 24%, and then I will start making strokes that will go up with the circles. So we can create a shape. It can go a little bit to the left and up. I will try to increase it a little bit and continue making it wide while it goes upper. Something like this. It looks very fluffy and nice. Now let's add color number 2 inside this one. So using the same brush, I'll just make a few more strokes right here. We can also try to duplicate the layer so it is not transparent. Now I will merge these two so we can shade these faraway trees. We have them on layer number 7. So let's apply alpha lock on it and grab color 23. We can also paint using the same brush here. I will adjust the brush size. Let's try 25%. And I will shade them on the right side. Actually, it will be a highlight. For the smaller branches, we can lower it. This can be dark, I think. Let's go to this one and just paint it this way. They still don't have to pop up. Just look a little bit highlighted. Okay, the last one. I will also highlight it slightly on the right. This branch can stay dark. And these are ready too. Now we need to add one more layer and drag it underneath, so we can already add some texture on the background. Let's grab color number 18 first and find sandy texture. It is also very nice to paint snow. Here the size is set to 21%, and we will start making strokes like this. Maybe a few more. And after that I will select color 19. Just paint a little between the trees. Okay, let's try to add this light color too. Just a little bit. Maybe also here. Let's keep it for now and go to shade this tree on layer number 6. Here we also need to apply alpha lock first. Let's start with color 21. Select textured shader, set the size to 32% and make strokes here inside the tree, mostly on the left. Now let's add a highlight with color number 4 on the right. Just like this. I think I'll make the size a little bit smaller and just highlight the tip. Okay, here on top we can put a decoration or ornament like a star. So I will switch to color 6, remove alpha lock so we can paint on the same layer. Then make the size smaller and draw a simple shape, something like this. It will be textured and not so bright. Okay, this tree is also ready. Before we finish these 2 big trees on the foreground, I think we can finish this snow. It will be easy to do. We have it on layer number 1. So let's apply alpha lock on it too. First select color 16 and apply it with textured shader. Just need to make the size bigger, at around 45%. So let's first darken it here at the bottom a little bit. We can press more in this corner under the tree. And then also paint under the house a little bit. Here in the middle I will draw with very low pressure to get only texture and almost no color. We can just darken it on the side. Okay, a couple more. And next we need to add some yellow color. Let it be number 11. It will work as the highlight. We just need to make the size slightly smaller maybe. And draw under the windows. Go a little bit down. Like this. Now we can even select white color from the disc and using noise brush add this glitter effect. Let me set it to around 55% and just paint like this on the sides. This is done. Now let's add another layer on top of it and clip so we can draw the path that goes from the door down so people can walk out of the house. We can start with color number 6 and later adjust it. And to paint it, let's switch to dry brush. Let's try to set the size to around 11%. And starting from here, make strokes like this. To the sides and down. You may need to lift the pencil up from the canvas from time to time. Make this zigzag. And it can get a little bit wider at the bottom for the perspective. So let's do it like this. We can make a few more strokes. Okay. And after that, we need to adjust the color. So let's go to adjustment section, select hue, saturation, brightness, and I'd like to make it a little bit more orange or yellow. So let's try to set it around 55 or 54%. Then make it a little bit less saturated and maybe a little bit brighter to blend it with the snow. Okay, I think it is nice. If we go to the layer, we can also try to lower the opacity. So at around 79–78% will work, I think. It is ready now. So we can go to our layer on top and create another one on top of it. Let's not forget to clip this one so we can shade the trees. Let's start with color 14 maybe. and select Textured Shader. The size needs to be very big, maybe around 50%, and I will start making strokes like this inside the tree to add texture, but I'm not pressing on it. Let's try to do it on this one too. They are on the same layer, so we can afford to do it. And they're not too close to each other, so we won't damage the other tree. Okay, let's go a little bit darker and switch to color 21. So we can now make it very dark here on the edge. I'll make it even bigger maybe. And try to make circles to achieve more texture effect. Okay, let's try to do it on this one. Just paint very close to the side of the canvas. Go down, paint in this corner, and go a little bit to the right. Here we can shade it at the bottom, so I will lower the size to 30% and do it like this, very carefully. So we can divide these layers of branches from each other. Let's also do it here. Go a little up. Okay. Now let's go with the highlights and select color 4. First I will apply it on this side. The size can be bigger definitely. We can keep this one dark. Put the color a little bit here. And on this one. Now let's apply it on the left side of the second tree. On these branches. And try to blend these colors together. The light highlight with the dark shadow. So we just need to go a little bit more to the right. Like this. Okay. Now let's add some yellow tone, like color number 5. Just apply it on the edge. A little bit here. Then on this one. So it'll get some light. Here it'll come from the peak and all the way down. Maybe we can stop here. Let's do it on the next branch. Like this. Here I will lower the size to 30% and do it slightly, like this. At the bottom it can stay dark. Finally we can grab white color. I'll do it on the disc. So we can add even more highlight. For example, on this one. On these branches, go a little inwards. And try to follow the direction of the brush strokes. Here we can add even more highlight, like this. And here I will keep it yellow. Okay, now we shaded the trees. Let's also decorate them. I will merge these two and create another one on top. Here at the bottom of the color palette, I added a few different colors that I will be using to draw ornaments. You can go with your own way and just draw some simple shapes like balls. It may be a bell shape or icicle or something else. Just be creative. Also we can add some of these colors on top. Okay, let me start with this pink, number 28. To draw these ornaments, we can use dry ink brush. The size can be set around 10%, and I will just draw a shape here. Using the same color, we can add something on this one. Something very simple. Then I will be switching to different colors and drawing more. Maybe something here. I will speed up this part, so you can also pause and do it on your own. It is very easy and doesn't require any special techniques. In the end, I will select color number 5 and just draw a few more circles of different sizes. They will work as fillers. Fillers are these tiny details that fill the empty space. And they're actually very easy to draw. I think I will add a couple on this one. And they are ready. We just need to shade them too. We already used this technique, so we just need to add a layer on top of this one, then clip, and first set it to soft light mode. Let's go with white color and use noise brush to apply it all over the shapes, so they will get this glitter effect. Okay, now let's select black color, maybe make the size a little bit smaller, and shade them more detailed. So I'm going to draw on every shape on the left side, this way. Let's go down. And here they will be on the right. This one. Okay, maybe we can add some details on top that I used to attach these ornaments to the tree. So I'm going back to this layer where we have the ornaments, and we just need to pick some neutral color. For example, it can be number 15. Let's switch back to inking brush, dry ink, and just draw very short, tiny line this way on each ornament. Okay, like this. They are done now. If you like, you can merge all these layers. And to add final touch to the illustration, we need to create one more layer on top, so we can paint more snow. Let's just select white color, go to the brush set, and pick the snow brush number 10. It is one of my 10 snow brushes from the Christmas set. If you have it, you can also try to apply some others and see which ones you like more. This is the most simple of all. Here the size is set to 34%, and I will start making strokes all over the canvas. You can try to change the pressure, and you will get these textured snow flakes of different size. Let's try not to overdo it. I'll just make a few more. And as the last final touch, we can add some light in the windows. So let's add a layer under the snow and set it to add. Let's now grab color number 5, go to airbrushing, and grab soft brush. With the size set to 7%, let's paint carefully around the windows with very low pressure. Just like this. We can also do it on this one. And the one on the left. This is the difference if we check. Without lights and with the lights, I think it looks more like a holiday. Also, let's go back to the brush set. Select hard lights. Increase the size to around 5% and just tap somewhere on the canvas to add these glowing parts. We can try to tap in these yellow circles, so they will also work like lights. Okay, now after this final step, our holiday illustration is complete. If you enjoyed following this tutorial, I will appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Procreate videos. If you share your finished drawing on Instagram, please don't forget to tag me at TatyWorks so I can see it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.